Hey everyone, today I wanted to go over some of the easiest tricks to save $10,000 or any amount. So let's get into it. So the first one, oh man, the first one is Roundup saving and investing. So there's a couple apps out there that do this, but let's say like you spend $10.85 on a burrito, then it will invest the remaining 15%. So it takes 15% to round up to the nearest dollar. So it's going to invest 15 cents for you to invest. Okay. So round up saving and investing is the first thing that you want to do. And this is the easiest, like low risk thing that you can do because you kind of don't really miss the money. I have something that does this for me, and I really don't notice it at all. Even if it costs you like $3 or $5 a month to do this, like it's so worth it just because like this money you really don't end up missing it that much, just because it's like 15, 28, 94 cents at a time, which like don't really hurt me financially, but then in the short term, but really help me out in the long term, right? So it doesn't really hurt in the short term, but it really helps in the long term. Okay. So number two is tracking. So tracking apps specifically. So again, there's a couple. I'll put apps. So there's a couple apps that do this as well, but you really want to track like subscriptions and just like anything like unwanted. Okay. And some of these apps can cancel them for you. I cancel. So some of these apps can cancel like your subscriptions or just any like unwanted spending or whatever. Definitely like keep track of this because sometimes you don't even know like how much you're spending on specific apps. You may not be using them to their full extent. You may have thought that they would be a good investment, but they're not. So subscriptions can really eat into your savings, right? So even if it's like $50 a month or $15 a month or $100 a month or whatever that you could save, like definitely invest into something that will help you track this. Okay. So be on top of it. Like don't just assume that you know where your money is going. Like you really should like take a look and write it down and like analyze the trends of your subscriptions and just like the money that you spend in every month. So you can also do this manually. Like a trick that I did was I manually tracked every single expense for like 6 to 8 months, I think, when I was starting my personal finance journey. I would literally like have just like a note, and it wasn't Excel because I wanted to do the math in my head in order to create friction in spending money. So I literally like tracked it myself. I tracked every single subscription whenever it was gonna like pull money out of my bank account, and I tracked every single expense that I had. And this was when I was like 23 or 24, so I was just getting out of college. I didn't have huge expenses because I didn't have like a house or anything, and my car was paid off. But still, like I was buying lunch and then going out and hanging out with friends or whatever, going on dates, right? And like I was spending still quite a bit. So I tracked every single expense in like a note and I categorized it, I added it up. Like I did all this mental math, and I really liked that because one, it showed me where I was spending my money, and then two, the physical like addition and opening up the note and just making sure I type it in correctly and that I'm tracking it, like all of those steps created some friction. So sometimes I would convince myself out of a purchase, right? So if I wanted to like stop at a gas station and buy like a chocolate milk or a body armor or whatever, like a drink or whatever, I would literally trick myself out of it because I was like, I don't want to have to freaking track the expense. So this actually really helped. I would recommend this too. Is like, yes, you can use a tracking app for like the technology, like going deep dive into your finances, but then also like maybe make like a manual component to spending money. So like physically tracking it, have like an Excel sheet, um, have like a note, um, spend cash or whatever. Like some of these may not be like super feasible, like the cash thing, but like tracking, manually noting it down, like creating friction around spending money sometimes is one of the best things that you can do. Okay. Great. Okay. So that's number two. Oh man, I just freaking erased this, but that's number one. I was trying to make that better. Okay. So number three is paycheck splits. So this may this may have to like go through like your HR or something, or you may be able to do it on your payroll app. But what paycheck splits is, and this has actually saved me a lot of money. This has been my favorite out of these four that I'll get into. Paycheck splits has been my favorite because this is again an easy way to not miss money. So like the Roundup apps, I don't miss the money, but it's still small. Okay, and I don't really choose. Like I don't choose if my purchase will be like 1073 versus 1015, excuse me, $10.73 versus $10.15. Like I don't control any of that. Okay, like I just control how much I spend, but I don't control like the cents that go into investing and saving into my app, right? But with the paycheck splits, I can control this. So I currently have, let me think, what's my current? Um, so I currently have like a 92, I believe, a 92 and 8 split. So 92% of my paycheck goes to um, like my regular bank account, and this is where, and I still invest outside of this, right? I still invest like 92%. Excuse me, I don't invest 92%. This 92% is the money that I see in my regular bank account that I check regularly, that I have all my subscriptions, and I have all my payments, and I have all my bills coming out of. Okay, and my investing. I think I already said that, but this is where I have my investing. Okay, 8% is going into a high yield. High yield, and also kind of like hidden. So I don't check the high yield bank account as much, but 8% of my paycheck automatically goes to this hidden bank account. Okay, so I don't check this, at least not that often, probably a couple times a year. And 8% is going into it, and I'm basically living off 92%. I'm assuming this is all the money. And also, like, it doesn't feel like it's 92%. Like 90% is still like the majority of my paycheck. So I don't really miss the 8%. I think when I started this, it was like 97-3 split. So you could do whatever you want. You could do an 80-20 split. You could do a 99-1 split. You could do a 92-8 like me. Like 8% is a significant amount of anybody's paycheck. Okay. So this may have to like go through HR. Like you may have to talk to your payroll people, if possible. Like I really hope it is, but depending on like the payroll service that they use or the app, you may be able to do this yourself. You may be able to go through them, or it may not be possible. I'm sorry if not, but I really hope it is, because this has been like a huge unlock for me. Is just paycheck splits, and again, like this 92% is basically my 100% because I'm not noticing the 8% at all. So definitely get to a level where like this doesn't like hurt you. So the saving number doesn't hurt you, but it's kind of a stretch. But also like you could be like, 92% of my pay, like that's fine. I can live off of that, and then the 8% I'll just never touch. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I think about this one, and it's really good. So hopefully this one is it. Again, this has been my favorite one so far. And then the last one is just pretty similar. This can be a substitute, or it can be an add-on to step number 3, which is just automatic deposit. So again, like let's say paycheck splits isn't possible, or if it is, like I'm still doing 92% and I still have automatic deposits. So I'll just go over a couple. So I have a $40 a month going into my little guy's account. So like a child account for my little guy. I have $100 a month to my brokerage. Well, one of my brokerages. I have, let's see here. I don't know. This could be whatever you want. I also have $50 a month going into another brokerage. I'll just say this is going into an index fund. I have another $50 a month going into crypto. So you can do a whole bunch of this. And this is automatic, right? Some of this is on the first, some of it is just like you can choose whatever day you want it to be on. I think most of this is on the first for me. But you can choose like what day. Like these apps are so cool nowadays. Like you can choose the frequency, so it could either be monthly, it could be every 2 weeks, it could be on the 1st and the 15th of every month. Like there's so much control, I feel like, with some of these apps now. So find one that you like. I have Fidelity, I have Robinhood, I have Fundrise. Like all these are really cool, but you can choose your own, of course. Do your own research, and I can certainly make some videos on some of my favorites. But automatic deposits are great. You can also do it where, like, you can do it on the day after you get paid or something. So, like, if you get paid every 2 Thursdays, um, the Friday after, you can set up automatic deposits, especially if you don't have the paycheck splits. Um, it's a little more dangerous if you don't have the paycheck splits, just because it hits your account, then it leaves. So it feels like you're like that money is gone versus that money doesn't exist when you don't even see it with the paycheck splits, which I really like, just because I don't check where it goes. But again, to each their own. And I just wanted to share just a couple things to save, your first 10,000 or just $10,000, right? But if you do all of these things and you're, aggressive, of course, you're not overdoing it, because nothing is worse than like overdoing investing and then having to sell your investments to cover some costs. Like I've been there and it sucks, and I don't want you to be there. So kind of work your way up. So start out with, you could do all 4 of them, but like start out with like a lower number and then just kind of push up and push up and push yourself a little bit more. And you'll see that you actually really will enjoy it. I think it's really cool to see just like my money build up in my Roundup app, my tracking app. That's kind of like that's kind of like up to par now. But at the beginning, it was cool to like cut this expense and cut that expense. I was like, crap, I freaking forgot that subscription or whatever. It was really cool. The paycheck splits was also really nice. When I discovered this, it was a total game changer. And then automatic deposits, like I just have this on repeat as well, just every month for the last so many years. So hope these help. Again, like push yourself, challenge yourself, start small, do your research, so you can just kind of, yeah, like Google any of these terms and you can find some cool articles or find some steps. Like if you put this into an AI, you can find some steps on how to set these up. But I hope this helps, and let me know in the comments which one's your favorite. So thanks everybody. Hope this helped.